Why is the answer always that I have to get sassy? I mean, I don't know why. Like so many times in my life that happens to me.
Spicy sausage?
Yeah, you enjoy spicy sausage. I have a plan, okay? So I we have a big clip that so there's a narrator that I'm friends with, Michael Dean, and we've come up with nicknames for some of our regulars, and Michael Dean is, and
Oh,
his name comes up.
okay.
So spicy, we've ended up calling him chorizo, and so yeah, and you got a big clip today, folks, on the show. Hi everybody, welcome to John Solo's Beer
Hi.
Brigade. I'm John Solo. You're not. This is a little Lissa Gramling, and this is the Ramblin show, and Lissa got like a whole like a book. I don't know how much did you get from Michael
It's
Dean to
just
send
one
in
scene.
from right. So a scene though. So Michael Dean typically doesn't send in samples or anything. He's kind of a busy guy. He's got a lot going on. He's a big deal. And he sent in like a chunk, something different. I think
Well,
so.
there's a story behind that.
Okay.
I was chatting with Megan Maslow.
Mm-hmm. We
We
love
were talking
Megan.
about,
Mm-hmm.
yes, we do, and how there's narrators I want to get and narrators I've already gotten on the show. So she said, this is going to be fun. Um, she suggested I reach out to Patty Logan because whenever he does one of her books, and I knew one was coming out soon. So I reached out to her. She emailed him, and he kind of said he doesn't normally do stuff like this because everybody will want more from him. I'm like, no, I just want him one time. So she asked him to do a scene, and he sent her a scene, and she sent it to me. And I kind of literally freaked out after I got the email because
I
I was
can
like,
hear,
yay!
I can hear the squeal of joy, and in fact, I think it woke me up. That was a So,
So,
yes,
yeah,
little Lissa Gramling enjoys spicy sausage. There you go. And congratulations, good job. Sometimes when you cast your line out, sometimes you get spicy sausage. That's what you get.
yeah, because I'm a big deal.
Yeah, we have a big show today because we did not
Oh,
have a
yeah,
show last week, so this is going to be a big one here. All right, and I think I've got everything
that's what he said.
reprogrammed. Speaking of Willie, look at that. There he is, right there, prominently displayed on the dresser. So to
Yeah.
get into, and I don't know what I've been in a dresser or two in my life. I'm an adult, and sometimes on the top, the smaller drawers, people put the things that they want to hide. Like it's not like the thing. It's not like the shirts and
Yeah,
stuff.
no.
You're putting things. So to get to that on your dresser, you got to get through your Willie.
No, I can just take Willie off.
That's convenient. I can't do that. I cannot. I'll work on that though. Maybe that's in further down the line in yoga. So we have a big show in store for you today, and we've got a lot of I like 40 of these to get through. So I'm going to try my best not to interject. I mean, well, let's be honest. I'm probably going to interject, but let's see where we are here.
Yeah.
Number one.
Yes. Rocky Start, A-List Security Book
Is
4
that
by
Declan?
Anne Declan. Could be. By Annabeth Albert, narrated by Kurt Graves. That looks like Declan. Yeah.
I'm telling you, no wonder Cheryl's into him. Jesus Christ.
Oh my god. I got something in my throat.
That's what she said. So this is a Rocky Start, the A-List Security Book 4 by Annabeth Albert, narrated by our very own Kirk Graves, release date of the 2nd of March. That's right, we're going all the way back to the 2nd. We've got a ton of these. You have time to swallow?
I already have. Oh my god.
That's all right. Next we have...
Um. Anyway. Uh. Like I Needed, Heather Bay, Book 3 by Charlie Novak, narrated by Dan Callie.
Dan Callie. That one came out on the 2nd. Next we had
Heir of Autumn, Wild Hearts Book 3 by Nasri Noor, narrated by Greg Boudreau / Tremblay.
Yes, that one came out on the 2nd. Next we had...
Can you do that one? Because I cannot say that word.
Sure.
The justice part? Yeah, because you did it. So.
CJ Dragon. I was like, well, that's hard. Yeah, and actually, I'm super excited about this. This was a new client for us, and it was fantastic. The Price of Surrender, Durrani Justice, Book 1 by CJ Dragon, narrated by me, and that one came out on the 3rd. And yeah, I'm stoked. So,
thank you.
And that's not me on the cover. Next, we had...
Hey, it could have been. 3 Times Lucky, A Chance at Love series, Book 4 by C.J. Warrant, narrated by Christopher
Sapienza. That one came out on the 3rd. Next we had...
That's a new narrator to me.
Me too.
Newcomer, Dads of Stillwater, Book 1 by Anna Ashley, narrated by John Solo.
That one came out on the 3rd as well. And that one, I mean, we all love Anna Ashley. We love her to death. And yeah, more to come in that too. I just got the next one. Heartstrings.
Oh, cool.
Hearts. Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. That one came out on the 3rd. Next we had...
Ties That Bind. Wow. Arizona series, Book 3 by Romeo Preminger, narrated by Gabriel Michael.
And that one came out on the 6th. Now, everybody, coming up in a second here, this is the big moment. This is what we've been waiting for. This is why I said Lissa enjoys the spicy sausage. So get your popcorn or your sausage, your chorizo, whatever you want to put in your mouth at the time while you listen to this. Kick back and enjoy the fun.
Max was horny as hell, and having Leo so willing and pliant was exactly what was needed tonight. He hadn't expected that every other gay man in South Beach seemed to have the same plans, though. The back room was possibly busier than the dance floor or main club. Men of all shapes and sizes were busily engaged in a diverse variety of sexual encounters. He saw an opening between 2 couples and pushed his way over there, dragging his boyfriend with him. The wide hallway was lit with only dim lights, and for that he was almost thankful. He could still make out shapes, various stages of dress or undress, if he were being honest, as well as the sounds of grunts and shouted climaxes. The vacant spot on the wall was between 2 couples, and he pushed Leo up against it, not caring what had been left behind by others. When Leo reached up and wound his arms around his neck, Max sent him a sultry look, and then slammed his mouth down on his lover's. In seconds he felt like he'd burst into flames. Leo's mouth opened the moment he prodded, and he shoved his tongue inside, crowding him against the wall and humping against him with his rampant erection. He couldn't remember being so aroused, primarily because of his lover, but also because of the filthy display of sweating, hot males engaged in their own pleasure all around him. So hot. Max pulled his mouth away and looked over to find the 2 men beside them watching intently. When Max glanced down, he noticed they both had their jeans open, hard cocks jutting out, with their fists wrapping around them. Jesus, Leo whispered at his ear. Max turned and glanced back at him, only to find him watching the men stroke themselves, exactly the way he was. You like that, Leo? He whispered in his ear. You like to watch other men jacking off, darling? Leo nodded and then smiled sexily. Yeah, Max, sometimes. With you, it's totally hot. Max smirked. Dirty, dirty boy. Leo laughed and reached for his face as the men started kissing, pulling Max's face toward him before doing the same to him. He ground his groin against Max's, cock against cock, annoyingly thick denim the only thing in between. He needed to get Leo's pants open. With that in mind, he dropped his hands to Leo's waist, found the buttons, and then cursed the fact that they'd both dressed in their 501s with multiple fastenings. Getting out of them was usually accomplished in a slow striptease, but that was the last thing Max needed or wanted tonight. He wanted raw, hot, filthy sex, which is exactly why he dragged Leo in here to begin with. One of the men on the other side of them cried out, and they both turned to look, catching sight of a smaller man facing the wall, with one hand braced on it, while his partner slid his sheathed cock deep. The bottom was rapidly jacking himself and gasping as the top slammed home, pulled out, and then slammed home again. The bottom let out another strangled cry, and seconds later he was painting the wall in front of himself with cum.
By the way, this episode is not safe for work. Jesus Christ, Lissa. Hang on here. For some reason, I lost your microphone, Lissa. Did you unmute yourself yet?
Oh, there we go. Sorry.
Ta-da! I saw you, and you were very animated. I just couldn't hear you.
No, I'm like, blame Patty. She's the one that wanted this scene done. And I didn't listen to it. I normally listen to whatever the narrator sends me.
Yeah.
I did not listen to this.
That's hilarious.
So
It's really, I mean,
didn't know what was
hell, he did a
going
great job. He did really good. Yeah, that's, there are people, because, you know, people watching this live on Facebook, it's 11, there are people like at the office right now.
on. Oh, shit. Well, I just hope that it doesn't get you banned from YouTube.
If it does, it's Spicy Sausage's fault. I'm going to call Michael Dean.
Blame Patty.
Anyways, yeah, fantastic. And congratulations on the new release. And yeah, that was freaking awesome. And I'm just I don't care if people read about. I mean, we talk about the sex here all the. It's kind of what it's in the books. I mean, it's not like we're doing God's work here. Anyways, speaking of spicy sausage, next we have
Falling Embers, Men of Fair Lake by Romeo Alexander, narrated by Michael Dean.
And that one also came out on the 6th. Next,
I'm blushing. That was
You're blushing? You're blushing? Look at you go. Look at you. I know. You were so innocent prior to that.
No, I wasn't. Anyway, Sweet Swagger, Private Affair Book 2 by Mike Warren, narrated by Ada King.
You know, most people wear hats to keep the sun off of their heads so they don't get like a... And that man,
Don't go there.
Well, I mean, but he's not... I mean, it's a shirt, so it's... Needs some sort of protection.
Is that an 8-pack?
Not exactly.
Look at those packs. Damn.
I know. You got to work really hard for that. Anyways, that one came out on the 6th as well. Next we had...
Little Shock of Hate, Creature Cafe Series, Book 4 by CeeLo Evans, narrated by Gregory Sinal.
I think it's Cleo Evans and narrated by Gregory Salinas and Lance West. And that one came out on the 6th. Next we had...
Still flustered. Secret Lives of Country Gentlemen.
Are you saying Michael Dean broke you? Wait, you're saying Michael Dean broke you? Wow, look at that. Goodness gracious. And this is the effect they have. And this is also why I put Enjoy Spicy Sausage on them on. Anyways, please go ahead. The Secret Lives of Country Gentlemen.
The Doomsday Books, Book 1 by K.J. Charles, narrated by Martin Swain.
And that one came out on the 7th. Next we had...
It's Witchcraft. Criminal Intentions, Season 1, Episode 5, by Cole McCade, narrated by Kurt Bonham.
And that one came out on the 7th. Bonham, yes. Then we had...
Bonham, not Bottom. Luke, Learning to Love, Book 3, by Con Riley, narrated by Cornell Collins.
And that one came out on the 7th. Then we had...
Conspiracy of Dragons, Here Be Dragons, Book 4, by Louisa Masters, narrated by Joel Leslie.
That one came out on the 7th. Now, at any time, if you need a break, we can play more of that clip that Patty sent in if you want. So next, we had...
Sapphire Storm, Sapphire Cove, Book 3, by and narrated by C. Travis Rice.
And that one came out on the 7th. Then we had...
Something Wild and Wonderful, by Anita Kelly, narrated by Mark Sanderlin.
Also on the 7th. Then we had...
Eden, Monstrous, Book 2, by Lily Mayne, narrated by Michael Leslie.
Nice. That one came out on the 7th. Then we had...
Outcast, by Nicole Dykes, narrated by John Solo and Iggy Toma.
Sweet. That one came out on the 7th. Then we had...
Smoke and Murders, Dr. Maxwell Thornton Murder Mysteries, that's a mouthful, by S.C. Wynn, narrated by Matt Haynes. Yeah.
I mean, it's just too low-hanging fruit. There we go. Next we had
Phantom and Rook, Adventures in Lavina, Book 1, by Alina Isaacs, narrated by Kurt Graves.
That looks cool. That one came out on the 8th. Next we had
Omega for Hire, Books 1 through 5, by Aria Grace, narrated by Dan Jackson.
and that one came out on the 10th. Then we had
Exodus, The House of Silence, Book 1, by J.A. Jakin, narrated by Dan Calley.
and that one came out on the 10th. Next we had
Welcome to Knockwood, by Lucy Lennox, narrated by Michael Dean.
Look, you're blushing again. That one came out on the 13th. Then we had
Love's Cost, Revolutionary Heart, Book 4, by Janice Jarrell, narrated by Walker Williams.
Came out on the 13th. Then we had
Emporium of Hearts, an Eternal War Saga novella by Haley Turner, narrated by Gary Furlong.
That was an Infernal War Saga novella, and that one came out on the 13th. Next we had Internal. I mean, it could have been an internal struggle the whole time. I don't know, but
Meet Cute Club, Sweet Rose, Book 1, by Jack Harbin, narrated by Brent Billings.
And that one came out on the 13th. Next we had
Solomon's Crown, a novel by Natasha Siegel, narrated by Ben Allen and Steve West.
And that one came out on the 14th. Then we had
Saints Song, Rebel Kings MC, Book 2, by Garrett Lee, narrated by Dan Calley.
And that one came out on the 14th. Yep, we all were, apparently.
Perfect Fit, Faded Heart Series, Book 4, by Amy Nicole Walker, narrated by Connor Brown.
And that one came out on the 14th. Then we had
The Forbidden Equation. Yeah. Love Equations. Okay. By J.R. Gray. Narrated by Alexander Amato.
Amato. Nice. I haven't heard from J.R. Gray in a while. Good author. Next we had
Luke. Unexpected Book 4 by Cora Rose. Narrated by Liam DeCosmo and Alexander Sandis.
Nice.
And finally...
Liam's getting in the mix too. Good job. And finally we had, and I'm stoked about this one. Here we go. This one just came out.
Me too. Accidentally in Love. Sucker for Love Mysteries by K.L. Hires. Narrated by John Sello.
And I normally don't stoke my own stuff too much, but I'm telling you guys, this is the good stuff right here. You're going to absolutely love it.
It really was.
It's a ton of fun. And I just put up a story time episode and all that fun stuff, so it's up to now.
And I tell that you're doing something in their group on Friday.
That's what I hear tell too. So it's going to be a good time had by all. I think we're doing that at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What's the name of her group? Or their group, sorry. What's the name of K.L. Hires' group? It's something Trace told me. I'm not in it. It has to do with
hot dogs.
Yeah. It's hilarious. But we'll have a
Cat's hot dog shack.
They seem like my kind of folk, is what I'm trying to say.
They are.
And if somebody could put the link in our group here, that'd be freaking awesome. So people can swing over and see it. Now, for the Cat's Cock Castle doesn't have the same ring to it. Wow. I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know. Doing God's work here, Patty. That's what we're doing today. God's work. So this is what we've been waiting for. Now there seems to have been a couple different themes going on with you this week, so I'm going to
just a touch.
Just a touch. All right, here we go. The first one is
Got Me Looking by Casey Cox and narrated by you. All right, I gave this one 3 bullets. It's book 3 in the Vet Shop Boys series. I did enjoy it. Casey did a great job with Gus and Tate, and you did amazing bringing them to life. I felt this was more sweet and sappy. and like one of those rom-coms that I don't watch very often. But it made me laugh out loud when they played rock, paper, scissors to see who was going to bottom. And I really, like I said, I really did enjoy it. I didn't get into it right away, but it did take me a few chapters. But you did a great job.
Nice. That's not
Hopefully
me on
these.
the cover, by the way, too. I
No,
don't
that's
really
not you
look
on
like
the
that.
cover. It's not
But
Michael
I,
Dean either.
I,
And he's not
I
wearing a
love
shirt.
I love these books in this series, and it's dependably good every time. So, and it seems like you thought so as well because you moved on too. Da, 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 da.
Yes, got me thinking. I gave this one 3 bullets as well. Chase and Fisher were a couple in book 4. I really did like this one. I got into it more than the previous one. You did a wonderful job with it. These two danced around each other so much, it almost annoyed me. And I did good, and I only had to yell at them a few times.
Now, does yelling at them change the, like, does it
No,
change
just
the outcome if, I don't know,
no.
it's like you choose your own romance adventure? I don't know how it works.
Somebody needs to do that.
Yeah, that'd be fucking awesome.
That would be cool. It's like, go here if you want them to do this, or yeah. Although I was kind of weirded out by Chase's first time on a beach. And I'm like, why? Especially
Why
with
hadn't he
nothing.
had, why hadn't
Well,
he had
no.
more
Like,
than,
why did
like it?
Why did they do that on the beach?
Well, I
With
was going
no
to say, because
towel.
I realized being from Florida, it seems like everybody's had sex on a beach, I guess. But no, that was like his first time. That's on a beach.
Yeah.
Like
But they didn't
he
have a
had
towel.
sex.
They didn't have
Well, they're not from
anything
Florida. They're
below
not
them, so they got
prepared. I mean,
sand all over the place.
yeah, they're not prepared. I realize sand gets everywhere. So
Yeah. And they didn't shower afterwards, and they probably got sand all over the bed.
this is what you were thinking of.
That's what. Well, yeah.
They were
I'm just going.
they
Why?
were having an emotional moment, and they had things in each other, and you were thinking of the sand and where that's all going to go.
Yeah.
Good Lord. Listen, Gramling. All right.
Also, I do have to say that the guys in these books have wonderful recovery time.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I know, you know, as a man, what I can tell you from experience is that, yeah. See, right here, we need like the screen to go, psh, and then we'll come back like after I say it. And then, anyways, it'd be cool if I had that effect. I'd just press that button right now. Next, and it seems like you did a lot of listening and a lot of reading
Yes.
too coming up here.
Yeah.
Next, we had, oh my goodness
Hopeless.
gracious.
Yeah.
That's like a 14 pack he's got there. Is that an extra 2 under his pecs there that I've never even seen before? There's like the 2, but then there's
It
like
looks
2
like it.
tiny. Is that a growth? That's. Have you ever seen Alien?
No.
Never mind then. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Hopelessly Romantic with Shane East and Teddy Hamilton, along with several others. With Blake included, Blake Lockhart and Stephanie from Discord. I gave this one 4 bullets. It was book 1 in a 2-book series duet. It took me a little bit to get into the book because I hadn't listened to a book with a full cast before. But I was weirdly invested in TJ and Jude. Lauren did an amazing job, as did Teddy and Shane. I did tear up a few times when they had to separate, and got really happy when they reunited. There were a few time jumps in here, and it started off in the past and worked its way up before the real story began. And the heartbreaking cliffhanger at the end had me in tears. And then I immediately had to start the next one.
It sounds like you liked it a lot.
Oh, I loved it.
These books were a huge deal. And this one has been out for a little while, hasn't it? It's not a new release.
It came out
Yeah,
last year.
yeah. I am going to flip to the next one. Are you ready for it?
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Hey, and he's got a shirt. Here Comes My Man. Also with, of course, Teddy and Shane and a full cast of characters. And this one was a bullet breaker.
Heyo. Sometimes it's like mining
Yeah.
for gold, isn't it? Sometimes it's like, you're panning and you're panning and you're panning, and that, never mind. That hand motion, go right ahead.
I wasn't even looking at you right then, but okay. I can probably picture that. But anyway, book 2. And once again, there is a time jump. And we learned what has happened to Jude and TJ since the cliffhanger in the last book. This started out as an enemies to lovers, but that quickly ended. And it was also like a fake relationship trope, but wasn't, if that makes any sense. Lauren is quickly becoming a favorite author for me. And there were some major hot moments, and Shane and Teddy did a fan-fucking-tastic job with this audio. I didn't want it to end, but I also wanted to hear how everything played out. I didn't want to put it down, and once again, I'm just weirdly invested in these two.
Nice.
The sexy times were scorching, and I was so sad when the whole story ended. And I wish I could listen to this again for the first time. And TJ and Jude quickly became my new favorite book couple. It was Jarrett and Thane from Patty's Death and Destruction series, but they've been bumped off.
That's saying a lot right there. Wow, look at you.
And I've got a serious book hangover from listening to this. And there were a couple of Easter eggs from other books and in this one, and I will definitely be doing a re-listen of
Nice.
these.
That is high praise coming from little Lissa Gramlin. On to what seems to be another theme here, going on to what you read. Now we're just gonna. Can you are these like all you got separate for each year? I'm gonna kick back here.
What?
Well, there's 3 from the same. I mean, they're the same. Are you reviewing them all at once, or are you doing them separate, or that's
No.
what I'm asking?
Oh, they're separate.
All right, cool. All right, I'm gonna kick back.
All right.
You mind if I get some popcorn here? And
Sure, go ahead. Everybody else can have popcorn too. I don't eat popcorn. Lunatic by Onley James. I gave this one 5 bullets. It's book 6 of the Necessary Evil series, and I seem to have finished this one faster than any of the others. Archer and Mac were the 2 main characters in this one, and I couldn't tell which one of them were more of a psychotic than, but I just absolutely love this book. Only outdid herself. I couldn't put it down. I think I finished this in a couple of hours because I was that into it. And this one was different from the others, and it stuck with me more. But I really, really loved it, and a lot of other people have said this one was their favorite as well.
all right, compared to this one.
This one was just released. It released last month, and I gave this one 4 bullets. It was the last book of the Necessary Evil series. I love the series, and I'm sad to see it end, but there are a few spin-offs coming. So I can't wait to dive into those. Thomas and Aiden are the two main characters. And Thomas is the head of this family of psychopaths. And Aiden was one of the 7 adopted kids that he took in. But his real father is one of the side characters. The series was just amazing. I can't believe I waited so long to get into it, especially when I saw it everywhere.
Yeah.
It was bitter. Yeah, it was bittersweet to say the end, but it was an amazing journey. But I do have a lot more only to read, and there are 2 other series and a few standalones I can get into.
Such as this.
And this one, yes, Intoxicating. Now, this was a bullet breaker.
Hey-o.
It's the first book in the Elite series, and I absolutely loved it. Wyatt and Lincoln were the 2 main characters, and Lincoln was hired by Wyatt's senator father to guard him for the next 6 months so Wyatt didn't get into any more trouble. Which leads to some majorly hot, sexy times between them.
What else? Yeah, I mean,
it was like a daddy boy trope.
that's. Look, I'm gonna guard you. It's my job. I'm gonna take care of you. But I'm afraid that this is gonna happen though. I mean, is that just the way it always happens, or is sorry? I will not interrupt. Please keep going. My bad.
Only did a fantastic job, and I really hated Wyatt's father so much. He was such a homophobic asshole, and I wanted to just strangle him. And I couldn't put this book down, even though I kind of had to because of sleep and work. And I can't wait to get into the rest of the series.
Awesome. Well, you were certainly on a trend, and actually, I was going through some the older YouTube videos, and we need to get Onley James back on the Talk to the Beard again. Anyways, thank you. You did a wonderful job, especially considering it was a double episode and you had a lot of extra work. Now, I cannot possibly expect you to top what you did with the whole Michael Dean spicy sausage
Probably
chorizo
not.
thing this week. I mean, that is pretty impossible, but I look forward to next week's episode. We should be on next week at the regularly standard 11 Thursday. All right, cool. Love y'all. Have fun. I'll be in Discord in about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour, somewhere in there. And we're going to be working on games we play.
I got to take my mother to a doctor's appointment.
Yeah. Games we play, Kevin. 7 minutes to Kevin, which is going to be fantastic. Love y'all.
Yeah, Kevin, not heaven.